name is Daniel and this is my channel Star Pages. Today I'm going to be talking about Criers Moon by Kathryn Purdie, right? So I'm not going to be doing a review. I'm going to be doing this thing where what my friends and I do at school is like when one of us is reading a book and something exciting happens, we'll have to tell our friends what's happening. But to tell them, for them to understand, we have to tell them like the whole book, right? So we tell them, but we don't like tell them exactly how it happens. We just tell them the way how we talk, like we tell them sus or drama, you know? When you tell your friends the tea and you tell it in a specific way, that's how we tell each other about the books. So I'm going to do that with you. Okay, so the book, okay, hold on. So obviously this video is filled with spoilers and I still recommend you read this book because I read this book like over a month ago and my brain is not so good sometimes. So it's not going to be in like perfect order because I'm going to be like, okay, this happened, and like wait, before this happened, 2 chapters ago this happened, or whatever. And I'm probably going to get like some details wrong, and I'm not doing this video so you know what happened, so you don't have to buy the book. I'm just doing it because, and I still recommend you read this book. So after you finish this video, read the book. Also, can you see the posters? I got new ones. So this was there before. This is Annabeth and Percy, and there's Gilbert and Anne from Anne with an E. I also like Annabeth. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what we're talking about. Okay, so let's start. So the book starts off with these 2 girls. So Sabine and let me tell you. So okay, so Criers Moon is about Sabine, Elise, and Bastian. Sabine is Elise's best friend. Sabine and Elise are these people called Bone Criers, and they have to kill their soulmate to get granted this passage to become these magical farriers to ferry the dead souls from the living world to either up there or down there, you know. And then Bastian, he and his 2 friends who are not important yet. Well, I mean they are. Anyways, not important in the synopsis. Want to kill a Bone Crier to take revenge because all of their fathers were a Bone Crier's soulmates, so they got killed when they were young. So all of them want to take revenge, right? And they don't know what the Bone Criers actually do. They just think that they kill men for the fun of it or something, right? So that's what's happening. Okay, so the book starts off with Sabine and Elise climbing the mountain. We start off in Sabine's point of view, right? And then Sabine is like climbing on the mountain, huffing and puffing and slipping and struggling. Basically, she's having a hard time. And Elise is just jumping from one rock to the next like a freaking mountain goat or something. And then Sabine is like, listen, why are we doing this? And then Elise is like, oh my god, hurry up, child, you're taking way too long. And then they reach the top of the mountain, and then Sabine is like, okay, are you seriously going to do this? And then Elise is like, obviously. And then you find out that they're up there to kill. They're up there and they're looking over like into the ocean or something, and they're looking for a shark, right? Because they're planning to kill a shark. And basically, the Bone Criers, they have to get magical powers from 3 animals. So they have to kill these animals and like bless them, sacrifice them to the gods or something to gain whatever heightened senses the animals had as their magical powers, right? So once you have 3, then you can do the process where you kill your soulmates and blah blah blah. And then Elise has 2 and Sabine has 1, and Sabine doesn't like the whole killing the animals or killing the soulmate thing. So her only thing, we learn that her thing is like a salamander, and she just killed it to get people to shut up, and she didn't even sacrifice the bone to cut it or whatever. And so Elise is there to kill a shark to get her final grace bone, that's what it's called, right? And Sabine is like, oh my god, are you sure sharks are going to be out here today? And Elise is like, I'm sure. And then Sabine says that she smiled, and she smiled her favorite smile. And at this point, I am thinking that, okay, Sabine likes Elise because you don't just say, oh, this person's smile, your favorite smile. You have your favorite smile. You have a favorite smile. You have a smile. I don't even know how to phrase it. Does your best friend smile a smile that you consider your favorite smile? That just doesn't, it does seem friendshipy to me, unless I'm thinking the whole friendship something wrong. I thought she had a crush on Elise. She doesn't though. I'm gonna find out why later, right? And then she's like, oh my god, you see, Elise says, and she's always sure about these things, and she's usually right, so I'm just going to shut up and wait until the shark comes. And lo and behold, a tiger shark swims up, and then Elise is like, see, I told you. And Sabine is like, okay, fine, shut up, right? And then Elise, she dives into she gets out her special sacrificial knife or whatever, and then she dives in, and Elise, she dives this perfect dive. And Elise is like, of course, no, Sabine is like, of course it's perfect, it's Elise, and she dives into the water, barely a splash and all kind of something, and then Sabine is there waiting, and she's like, hold on, she's there for like 30 seconds, she's like, okay, fine, 1 minute, okay, fine, 2 minutes, she's like, hold on, then she dead, or sure, and then she's fretting, and she run up a ball, and she's like, oh my god, my best friend is dead, she drowned, the shark eat her, blah, 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 I don't have to go find her, and she's like, you know what, I don't give a damn about the shark. If I have to kill that shark, I'm going to kill that shark because the shark killed my best friend. So she jumps into the water. I don't remember how her dive was. It was probably floppy, sloppy, disgusting. It was like, well, it's probably trash because it was probably trash, okay? And then she dives in and then she looks under the water and then she sees her salamander gift to give her like sight underwater or something. She sees Elias and the shark fighting. And I'm like, hold on. I'm going to suspend by this movie, right? So the girl is there fighting, and the shark is like, yum, yum, and Elise is like, boom, boom, and then she's like, trying to stop the shark, and the shark is not stopping, and then Sabine is like, oh my god, Elise has been under here for like almost 3 minutes now, she's going to drown, I have to attract the shark to me, and then she's like, okay, think, I'm going to sacrifice myself so that Elias, my best friend, can survive. I'm like, okay, see, and she looks, and she sees that coral there, and she's like, okay, I am so smart. Shark's blood attraction. So she cuts her hand on coral, and then the blood comes up in the water, and the shark is like, and then zero in on Sabine, and it swims over, and then Elias swims up and breathes, right? And she comes back down, and then Sabine is there. She can't fight the shark because after she realizes Sabine is Elias is up in taking a break up there, and she said she realized that she not no skills. She can't fight the shark. Even if she could, she wouldn't kill the shark because what's the word for it? She's a that, you know, and they don't want to kill animals, and she's a very nice person. I'm going to use that word, even though if you kill animals, I'm not saying you're not a nice person. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so she's like, okay, this is it for me. I'm done. Say goodbye to the other bone criers and whatever, and then Elise comes back down and chops off the fin, the top fin. Is that the dorsal fin? I think it is the dorsal fin. And she chops off the fin, and the shark is like, ah! It didn't say anything because it's a shark, and sharks don't talk in this book, right? So the shark swims off, and it's like swimming in a circle because, you know, its fin just got cut off, like, oh, it's not even like a little cut, it's gone. If it was a head, it would be decapitated. It's gone, it's gone. Shark is bleeding, swimming around in a circle. It vexed now, but it don't realize it vexed yet because it's in pain. And Sabine listens to the top, and they're like, and then Elise is like, oh my god, the shark was stronger than I thought. I thought we would be able to fight it. And Sabine was like, I knew this wouldn't be able to kill this damn shark. She's a person, it's a shark. I was right. But she's not going to tell her that because Elise is her best friend. And then Sabine, Elise is like, you know what? Sabine, if it wasn't for you, I would be dead inside the shark's stomach right now. You should take the grace bone. Get your second grace bone so the people will leave you alone. And then Sabine is like, you know, I can't do that. And you came here. It's your shark. And then Elise is like, oh my god, I already cut off the fin. It would be an easy kill. Just kill the shark. And then Sabine is like, I'm not going to. And then Elise is like, okay. And she dives back down. And then the shark is like, still putting up a fight. But she's like, nah. And she stabbed it. It's dead now. Right? And then they skip to them walking home with like the shark meat in her bag, and Elise is the one kind of shiny because, you know, she has the strength, and remember Sabine had caught, so she can't hold the bag because it went to hurt or whatever, and she's waiting on the salamander healing to kick in because it's not as quick as other animals, but it's still faster than a human, right? And they're walking home, and then this girl comes and she's like picking on Sabine because Sabine only has one grace bone. She's like, oh my god, Sabine, you still have another grace bone. And then Elise, and then she's like, oh my god, Elise, where have you been? And then Elise is like, oh, me and Sabine fought a tiger shark. What have you done, loser? Whatever, Major. Let me stop. And then everybody's like, ah, tiger shark, you killed a tiger shark? You find a grace bone is a tiger shark? That's even younger than your mother. You're as great as your mother. And then the queen, Loris, or that's what they call themselves. The bone criers call themselves Lorises, and everybody else calls them bone criers. And the queen Loris comes out and is like, I'll be the judge of that. And they will find out that the queen bone crier is Elise's mother, right? And then she's like, I don't care about Elise. I don't like Elise. She is just my spawn. What was I? Yeah, she is just my spawn. And she's like, oh, tiger shark. And then it switched to Elise's point of view now. Oh, I forgot. When they were walking, this is when it switched to Elise's point of view. And you see, this is why you have to read the book, because this is not going great. Is it going great? I don't know. Yes, and then Elise takes notes of all her 5 grace bones, because the Queen Nurse is the only one that's allowed to get 5. And something, and then she's there cussing her off and like, do you know the flute song? Are you ready to kill your soulmate? She says the process, that because the flute, they have to play this magical song and this magical flute to, what's the word? I'm looking for enchant the soulmate, hypnotize. Is that the word? Things. I think like sirens. You know what I'm talking about. She has to enchant the soulmate, and they have to come and dance and not realize what's happening until they're dead, KO, right? And then she's like, yeah, I'm ready. And then the mother is like, oh, did you think about what we talked about? And then Elise is like, yes, I know my duty. And then the mother is like, okay, so you're going to have a child before you kill him, right? And then Sabine is like, and then Elise is like, of course. And then, so this is when we find out that you can stay with your soulmate for 1 year before you kill him. But if you don't kill him after that 1 year, then both of you die like really slowly, really painfully, because you know the gods already said, listen, soulmate already choose on after dead anyways. Either him alone dead or both alone dead. Pick one, right? Right? So like, especially the queen, they have to have an heir, right? So she must spend a year with her soulmate, have a baby, kill him, and then come back, right? Or get pregnant, kill him, and then come back, right? And it's just Sabine's point of view, and then Sabine is like, Jesus, I feel bad, because I know she a lie, because she knows it. Oh wait, hold on. No, it's still in Elise's point of view, because Elise is like, I cannot feel bad because I know she's lying, because she don't plan to have a baby with her soulmate, because she said killing him after just seeing him one night is one thing, but killing him after spending a whole year with him and having a baby with him is a whole other something. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kill him as soon as I see him, as soon as the dance finished. And then when I'm getting old and cannot be the queen anymore, I'm just going to pass over the crown or whatever it is to somebody else in the familia, because, oh no, famille, because it's like French themes, so they have like French words in there. I take French, I'm not very good at it, but I did French in school, so I knew some of these words. So I knew that famille means family, right? So smart. Right? And then the queen is like, yeah, okay. So go practice the flute song and make sure you don't use the bone flute. And then Elise is like, oh my god, I know. And then Sabine hand healed up now. She told Sabine to take the shark meat to the kitchen so that then can cook it for dinner, right? And before them walk off, the queen is like, Sabine, wake up, how was your day? Did you get any grace bones or anything? No, we still have the salamander bone, because no, we'll find out that the queen likes Sabine more than she likes Elise, right? And then Sabine is like, please don't talk to me, I cannot take it. And Elise is like, how she going to like she more than me, and he's our own flesh and blood? This don't make no sense. That is so bizarre. That it not clicking. It don't make any sense to me, right? And then that's the end. And then we jump now to Bastian fighting the air in this barn or something, this room, this place. He's like fighting the air and practicing his boots and flipping and right? So he's practicing to kill the bone crier, right? Who we know is going to be Elise, right? And then he climbs up on one of the beams in the sky. He's like flipping, and then he stops and then no, he gets interrupted and he turns around and thinks he's like the person who owns the room, because he's poor. Him and his friends are homeless and they just like sneak in and stuff. So he thinks it's the lady who owns the place, and it turns out to just be his friend Jules. And they will find out that Jules and Bastian like each other and them want them, but them can't they, because Bastian don't want them with her until him kill the bone crier and seek revenge for his father, and then leave the place where them living now and then go find a better life, and then them can they and get married and all kind of something. Plus him don't want to betray his other friend who is Jules' little brother, right? So anyways, that's not even important. But I'm just here thinking, I know from the synopsis that we're not supposed to be rooting for the romance, but you know, we're supposed to be rooting for it even though we're not supposed to be rooting for it. We're supposed to be rooting for it even though we're not supposed to be rooting. Shut up. So, right, so how are you going to give me this romance, but the first thing I hear from this boy is saying in love with this next girl. That is so bizarre. Why would I even do that? Make it make sense. I don't understand. It don't make no sense to me. It don't make any sense. How am I supposed to be rooting for these two if this boy from this pair is in love with this next girl, right? And it's not even like the girl is like this Mary Sue. Is that the thing where she's like, she only there for the man to love her and then break her heart and then go fall in love with this next girl, and she's not even like, no, she's like a very interesting character. I don't like her, but she's very interesting, right? So it doesn't make any sense. Anyways, and then she's like talking and they're sharing inside jokes, and then she's like, oh, I have a coin or something, and because they're poor, a coin is a big deal. And he's like, and then he's like, oh, let me get it. Alright. This way he go, or no, he had a coin, and then she's like, give it to me, and then he's like, I'll give it to you if you can climb up here. And then this is gonna find out that Jules is afraid of heights, but she climb up anyways, and then she did a drop and then catch her and then kiss and then they pull her with the car. Oh no, we can't, they're right, no. And then she's like all in her feet and like she kiss her, he's like, never come down. And then both of them climb, but he's like, wait, let me apologize. She's like, shut up, give me the coin and let me go. And he gives her the coin, and then the person who actually owns the barn now comes in and they sprint out, right? They're like Usain Bolt sprint, right? Okay, so then we jump back to Elise and Sabine, and they're walking down this path, and Elise is tripping over her flipping dress and then she accused about how the girl who made the dress for her make it too long on purpose, and then Sabine is thinking, so I actually think she make it long on purpose because she's very disgusting. And so she goes up, and then skip over that. Then reach the bridge. So then they have to find. No, wrong. Go back. You see, exactly. This is why I have a Bible. Go back. So Sabine asks Elise where they're going to perform the ritual thing, because you have to use a specific place, and there's this whole all kind of something. Oh, go back. Go back to when Sabine and Elise was talking to Elise's mother, and then she's like, Sabine, I want you to be Elise's witness because you have to have a witness there, right? Now jump back to the present now, right? And then Elise told Sabine that she wants to have it at this one bridge, and then Sabine is like, oh my god, this is so like Elise, because it turns out that Elise chose this bridge that's like right on the edge of where them can go and where them can't go. So where them shut up. So where them can go is where the regular human beings live, and where them can go is like in the forest and at the site of this broke down castle that was like where the king lived how much years ago, but then in dead and the castle broke down and all kind of something, and they built a new castle. And yeah, the bridge is like at the border of those two spaces, and then she's like, oh my god, that's so like Sabine, always testing her mother, blah blah blah. And then we reach the bridge, right? And then Sabine, Elise takes off her necklace because that's how she carried her bones around. She had the bones on the necklace, right? And then, so what the witness has to do is they have to bury the bones under wherever. Oh, it has to be on a bridge. So you have to bury it under the bridge, right? For the ritual to start, right? So usually when they take off the bones, they lose whatever powers they have. But once the ritual starts, then they just get the powers anyways until the ritual is over. Then they have to put it back on, right? So she gives Sabine the bones, and Sabine walk down onto the bridge, and she's like, oh my god, thank god there's no water under the bridge. At least that's the only good thing that comes from Ellie choosing this bridge, that I don't have to swim under no water to go bury it and then swim and go bury it back. So she like, but then she realized that the dirt tough. So she took a stone and she beat up the dirt to dig up a hole, and she dig up this sloppy hole, and she put the first grade bone in there, and she barely covered it out. She barely covered it up, and then she dig another hole. That one got a little bit deeper, but she still barely covered it up. And this is important later. Even I knew, like when I read it as well, so something going wrong. From she barely covered up the something going to go wrong. And then she dig another hole. She barely covered that up too. And then she got back up, and then she's like, okay, Elise, ready, right? Elise is like, alright, ready. And she got up to the bridge now. So Sabine is like standing up off the side, watching in secret, hiding behind the bushes and stuff. And then she played the song. You see, playing a flute. I can whistle now, but I cannot whistle right now because I'm smiling. So, see there, I can whistle. It gone. And she playing the flute. And then she's like, okay, now we wait. And she get vexed now because they're not supposed to wait. Because as soon as the flute play, then the man's supposed to not come. And then now comes, she's like, okay, wait. And then it skip over to Bastian, Jules, and Jules' brother. Where Neil? I cannot remember his. What is this? I'm not going to look in the book because that takes up. Is that Mike? I know it's not Michelangelo, but we're going to call him Michelangelo for the purpose of this video, even though that's not his name. It started with an M though, I think, right? So Bastian, Jules, and the boy. So Bastian, Jules, and the next boy walking, and then them going over the roads, and somehow Bastian and the boy, the Michelangelo, end up talking, and they'll find out that Michelangelo wants to become a scribe like his father. Oh, I forgot to tell you the backstory about how them did and why they're doing this. Bastian's father was a sculptor, and they were like going across this same, no, it was a different bridge. They were going across a bridge, and then this mist come out, and then hear this music, and then the father was like all hypnotized and stuff, and he's walking off, and then Bastian's like, hey, Papa, and then father nice to see, so what, and then the father walk off. And then the father start dancing. This beautiful lady dressed in white, and then a dance, ballroom dance, and all kind of something. And the person is like, after this, no right. So he gets up and is like, yo, daddy, come back here. I'm tired of the games. Let's go. Pack it up, let's go. And then the father, no, listen. And then as soon as he reach him father, them stop dance. And then the father was about to talk. And then the girl fly up in the air, higher than any normal human could, and come back down and stab him in the chest. And then Bastian is like, him dead, and him a ball. And then this other girl come out, and she come out and she's like, yes, you do it, come, let's go. And then the two of them run off. So you know that other girl was the witness, like also being this Elise's witness, right? And then Jules and Michelangelo's father, their mother did run will leave them. And then like the father was sad and them was sad. And then a couple years after that, like Jules is like 8 and Michelangelo is like 6 or something. This lady come, and then through the childhood eyes we see that she give them all their favorite food, and because the father was a scribe, she line up all the paper for him, because you know this is like, I don't even know what year it's 18. She roll up the paper for him, and she's sleeping in bed, right? And then them love, because you know them they're together now, right? And they're adults. It's Michaela. Do you remember Michaela from the last video? Yes, you do. If you don't, then I don't know what to tell you. Yes, and they call her a godsend, and then like a godsend, or a godsend. And then like a year after that, no, you see, the same year, Jules got into the father bedroom and see the woman, standing over the father with a knife. And then she make a sound, and then the woman turned around shocked, and it turns out that she was crying, and then she just run off, and then after that the father gets sick and dead. And then she and Michelangelo think that the woman poisoned him father, even though we know that she gets sick because she never killed him, and the bone crier gets sick too, right? We know that because I just told you that. I told you that before, right? So that's why they're going with. And then you're walking, and it turns out that Michelangelo in love with this girl who work in this like perfume shop or something, or ink shop. I don't even know which work. She worked there, and Jules don't like her. And then Michelangelo is like, no. Michelangelo is like, put a good word in for Kathryn, or whatever her name is, like Katie, Peach. We're going to call her no, that's your name. We're going to call her Peach. I think her name started at K, but I can't remember. We're going to call her Peach, right? And he's like, put a good word in with Jules about Peach for me. And then Pastor is like, I'll only do that if you stick to your role. So you're going to stay in the tree and make sure, say, the real man who's supposed to come on the bridge, don't come on the bridge, right? Don't go nowhere, because you know you can't fight. Because if you come out then, you're dead. I'm not no time for that. Stay in the tree, make sure the man don't come. Deal? But Michelangelo is like, deal. Alright? And then now, them reach the bridge. Oh, them reach the bridge before Elise reached the bridge. So them see when Elise and them people there come. And Sabine come, right? So Jules was hiding, and then like Bastian was just there waiting, and she played the flute, and then when them waiting, him walk out and pretend to be like all enchanted with her or whatever. But him actually thinks so she cute. So him like, no, this not play. Focus on the plan. And then them talking, and then she asked him to dance, and then them dancing, and she all dancing all sexy. Look at my hair, look at my hands, look at my body, look at my lips, and then she look at him. She's like, oh my God, look at your eyes. That's what dance goes. That's what she was explaining. Like, look at your eyes, look at your nose, look at your muscles. Oh, look at your clothes, blah blah blah. Right? And then the dance finished, and then Bastian talking to her, and then she's like, okay, that's it. And he's like, oh, that's it. And then he might pull out fear knife, and she had pull out fear knife. So let them know what one. And then she pull out fear knife to stab him, and then he pull out fear knife to stab her. And she's like, what's going on? And then Bastian's like, but you didn't expect that, did ya? And then she's like, you see? You mess it up now. I'm gonna kill you differently. I would have just, you want to go quick stab? You did, but now I have to fight you. You mess up the whole something. Worthless. Right? And then they're fighting, and then I jump up and down the barrier, the corner, you know, the wall on the side of the bridge. You know what I'm talking about, right? You have the bridge, and you have the walls. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right? Yes, you do. So then I jump up and that, and then I fight, and I spin, and I flip, and I stab, and I sword fight, and all kind of something. And then we find out that Jules go down to the bottom and start dig up the Grace Bone. So when them dig up now, everything that Grace Bone was giving her, she start losing it. So she dig up the first one, and then she lose something. And she was like, oh, well, what? And then she's like, oh my God, you had another friend. So she screamed out, Sabine, the next friend down there, take up the bone them. She didn't say that. She said it like, she said that, but she didn't say it like that because they're French. Right. Yeah, she said that. And Sabine is like, oh my God. And then she rests down there, and she said Jules picking up the bone. She's like, oh my God, this girl. And then she ready for fight, but Sabine can't fight because she worthless. And then she and Jules are fight, but Jules can't fight, you know. But for some reason, the magic of storytelling and tension, the fight lasts long, just like how Bastian and Ellie's fight lasts long. But then Sabine took up a stone and lick. No, wrong. Jules took up a stone and lick Sabine in her head. And Sabine took up her knife, but she didn't have, but she never think to use before, and stab Jules in her leg. But Jules can still fight better than Sabine with her leg cut up, plus she lick Sabine in her head. So she lick her way again, and then she dig up the rest of the bones then. And then Elise is on the corner of the bridge, and then she feels the last of her powers going, and then she nearly fall on the bridge, but she's hanging on. But she's still strong, you know. But like, I'm just here thinking, she's like only as strong as Bastian. So I'm just here thinking, so why you build up these bone criers as these big, strong, powerful things if all them powers come from the bone them? So like, how when the bone gone, she's just as strong as Bastian? That don't make no sense to me. If she's supposed to be this, anyways, you know what? Anyways, that's not important, right? So Bastian is like, he's going to kill her, and he's looking for the fear in her eyes, and Ashley's like, alright, kill me if you're bad. And he's like, so Ashley was scared, and then she's like, kill me if you're bad, come on, let's go. Let's get the show on the road, let's go. And then he's like, no man, more on the fear. So he's ready for dragging towards, and he's like, dragging the knife against her face, and he's like, and she's like, so what's the purpose of this? Why have to do all of this? This is so disrespectful. They could have just killed me and done. And then I don't remember how it happened, but oh right, Elise explained to Bastian that if you kill me, you are gonna dead too, because we are soulmates. And then Bastian is like, I'm not your soulmate. I just came on the bridge before your soulmate came to kill you. And then Elise is like, if the gods let you onto the bridge, that means you're my soulmate. And then Bastian and one on bonfire, so he don't know if this is real or not. So he's like, alright, now take the chance. So him kidnap her, him, Jules, and Michael. Is Michael, how do you call him, or Michelangelo? Or the second one, Michelangelo? Why would I do that? Let's call him Michael. Michelangelo is too long. So Jules keep the bone so that Elise can get her little strength and eyesight and speed and all kind of whatever she have. And then them cover up her eyes and then pushing her along to them secret hideout. And then Sabine knock her up on the ground, and she would get up and see them and take her away. And she's like, oh my God, and she run, but her head still hurt her, and her little salamander peeling now not fair right now. So she run and she drop, and her head a bleed, and she's like, oh my God, I can't get them now. So I have to go back to the Larises and tell them what's happening. So Sabine goes to the Larises and tell them what's happening, and then the Queen Laris says, oh my God, I have to get my daughter back. But she's just really thinking about her daughter being the heir. So like, if she dead, she not know how to quit me, supposedly, right? So she sent out like all them her council, like all the top elders with like the best race bones or whatever, for go look for our daughter, right? And then she's like, I'm going to go on the hunt too. And then Sabine is like, let me go. And then the queen is like, listen, honey, I know you're her best friend, but all you have is a salamander bone, and all I gotta get yourself killed. So stay in your yard. And then Sabine is like, she's my best friend. I'm going to go, even if she says in her head, I'm going to go, even if she says I must stay home. She go in her bed, she go rest, she wake up, her head feel better now, and she leave. Okay, so my phone died. Sabine wake up and she going to go look for Elise, right? And then we cut to Elise, and Elise is still blindfolded, and then Bastien is like, Bastien and Jules are really, really mean. And then they're walking, and Bastien is there like pushing Elise along, telling her to walk. And then they go up this hill, and then he's like, go down, and then she's like, down. And then she realizes that they're going to go in the cave, because even though she needs the grace bones to get like her superpower, she still needs the moonlight for like to be like a normal human being. So it's like there's another thing that like she doesn't see. The bone criers don't seem all that powerful to me. So I know they're not supposed to be this all powerful being, but they're supposed to be something, and they don't seem like much to me. But anyway, so they know that she needs the moonlight to like be strong and survive, and they push her down, and then that's where something happened, and they end up in like this cave thing, and they're hiding, and then them tie her up and make her sit down on the rock, this rock, to go sleep. And then where she's supposed to go to sleep, and then they sit down on the other side of this cave, and they're trying to figure out if what she said was true about if Bastien kills Elise, then he is going to die too. And then they're in the cave for how much longer, and then time passing, and Elise is getting weaker, and the Lars them can't find her, and then like because she's getting weaker, them don't tie her up anymore, and then Bastien and Elise getting closer, and I'm like, see it there, but he still love of Jules. So I'm like, see it there, this don't make no sense to me. And Michael he's just like reading his book and minding his own goddamn business. And then what happened first? You see, I don't remember the order. Okay, I know this happened where like Jules and Bastien left the cave for something. Like Jules went to go get food or something, and Bastien went to go get more candles or some shit. And then Elias was like, yo, Michael, I can tell you all I want. Oh wait, no, hold on. When they first go into the cave, they took the flute. Remember the magical flute that they need to call the soulmate, and Jules broke it. But the thing is though, the flute is not just to call the man them to the bridge them. The flute also calls the souls to the other magic, the actual magical bridge. So like without the flute, them can't call the dead. And if them can't call the dead, and the time pass where them supposed to get called on the full moon with low tide, and the werewolf them a come out, and the birds them a fly in proper formation, and the stars align, and the clouds, all the conditions. If it not happen, then like the souls can like manifest and steal the life out of human beings, and like the humans don't know what's going on, and them getting sick, and them not getting better, right? And then Ellie is like, don't break the fruit, and then Jules is at the flute, and then Jules is like, I don't give a damn, you own it, so it no make no sense to me, and she broke it, right? And then Elise is like, oh my god, and she dropped down, and she a ball, and wanna go kill me, the Lars them gonna kill me if I ever get out here, I ruin everything, blah 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 blah, oh shame on me, woe is me, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, so she broke the flute. So you see from that, like I know Jules is there to get revenge on her father, but something about her, all her actions just annoyed me, and I did not like her, and it get worse as the book go on, right? So back to the future now, or present, where like she's talking to Michael, and she's like, you know, since I'm not going to get out here, and I'm probably going to die down here, might as well give you some more information, right? All this time she have a plan to get out, you know, but him don't know that, because him just want information. She's like, oh, cool, tell me. And then she's like, okay, tell me what you know. And then him tell her this little bit of information, and then she's like, that's all. So I could have get out long time. I'm like, yeah, done. And then now she's telling him all this information, and then all the time she has sneak up close to him, and she take a knife and put it under her leg, and she's sitting on it, and him don't realize because him too caught up in the information. And then Bastian come back, and then Bastian jealous now because she has sit down beside Michael, and he's like, what's going on here? And then Michael was like, oh, she was just telling me some information, and he's like, why is she giving you all this information? And she's like, he's like, I don't know, and then she's like, and he's like, I don't trust you, I'm watching you, and he, because he start like her now, and him thinks it's just the soulmate thing, but listen, he start like her, and then Jules realized that him start liking her, so she get jealous and she hate Elise even more now. And then it jumped to Sabine finding the hideout with the entrance to the cave place, but she not gonna go down there because first of all she only have one grace bone, second of all it's under the ground, so you know, no moonlight. And then she see Ellie's mother like close to the cave, and she's like, oh my god, you found her? And then she's like, yes, but I didn't know there would be, oh hold on, they went into the cave on the moonlight because they were expecting the mole criers to come for Elise, and then they like, okay, they'll be weak without the moonlight, so we can kill the queen and put her into the bone criers forever. So yeah, and then jump back to the queen, and the queen is like, oh my god, they're so smart, they went underground. I'll have to wait until, oh, this is in the daylight, it's like I have to wait until sun to absorb all the energy and save it up like some computer on a flash drive, you know, when you store all the files on the flash drive. It's like I have to save everything and then go down and fight, right? And then she's like, Sabine, I told you to stay home. And then she's like, yeah, I was just out looking for Grace Bone. And she's like, okay, fine. And then Sabine run away, and she knows she going to need more Grace Bones to help save Ellie. So she's all day hunting all day, and then she just get tired and she shoot at, what's it like, she shoot this regular bird, right? This regular ass bird. It's like, it's not a crow, it's like, it's not a turkey. It's just turkey coming to my head. So imagine she shoots a turkey. No, because it can fly. She shoot a bird, brother. She shoot a bird, and she go home, and then she show the people them, and then the people like, oh, bird is not anything. So she vexed now, and then she go up to the chopping block, and she get the sacred knife, and she just chop off the leg, and she walk around with it, something that bleed, and she said, oh, this is my sacred Grace Bone. And then she walking out, and then she's going to go back to where she know that Elise is, and then she realized that, listen, the Grace Bone not giving her any powers, and she's like, oh my god, the gods started disrespecting them. And then she prays like, oh my god, I'm so sorry, I was just frustrated and I really need to save Elise, please take the offering and give her the grace. And she's like, oh yes, I get the grace. And then the queen called by the other counselors who were looking for Elise, who never have no luck finding her, and then she's like, oh my god, I know where they are, we're going to go down there in the night. And yes, right, and then them go down there, and they expect to just have a regular fight, but then jump back to Elise now. Elise notice Sebastian, Michael, and Jules are planning the attack because them know say them not going to have the upper hand if the queen come down here, because they expect the queen to be this big something. So them plan to them go across this bridge, and them plan like the dust that, like, you know when you light the black dust that you can light on fire, it's like that's what's inside, like bombs and stuff. What that name? It's not gunpowder though. But them not gunpowder.
I don't know what it's called.
Okay, let's say it's gunpowder. It's not gunpowder though, but I know it's gunpowder. Them call it like boom. No, them call some full name. It never make no sense. But let's call it gunpowder, right? And then pour the gunpowder, and Sebastian and Elise go across this bridge. So like if the queen have to come, then just step out, and then Michael have a light and boom, them dead, right? So them think it's simple, right? And then come time now. The queen come down. Bastian thinks the queen only have 3 Grace Bone. So him tell them, put your bone them in the basket, and then you can cross. So the queen now realize that him thinks only 3. So she take out 3 of them and she leave on 2. But him now realize they want to do nothing. So she across the bridge, and then Michael light the something, but them they jump back before him like the something, so nobody never did. And then she run and she go and jump, and then Bastian's like, she's not going to make it. And then Elise go open her big ass mouth and say she still have 2 Grace Bone. And then he's like, you only have 3. And then she's like, she's the queen, she has 5. And he's like, oh Jesus Christ, him freak it up now. So she jump over, and then like them reach the next side, and then she's like, and then another something set off, and then Elise and her mother drop down in this cliff and she grab onto the wall, but because she don't have a grace bone, she can't climb up, so she just there hanging over there like, mommy help me, Bastian help me. No, hold on, oh I forgot, I was wrong. Bastian and she never started falling in love yet, but they start like him and him they start like her, but they never tell each other that and they were not getting close. I was wrong before, right? And then she's like, mommy help me, and then her mother like, I don't know where she get the rope from, but there was a rope and she was like swinging, and then she got over to Elise and she was like, Elise, where's the bone flute? And then Elise was like, help me up, and she's like, Elise, where is the bone flute? And she's like, mommy help me up, and she's like, Elise, where is the bone flute? And she's like, Jules broke it, and then the mother's like, kiss my teeth, and she climbed back up and leave her down there and said, Jesus Christ, she wicked bad, and then she go up there and she tell the other, she go back her yard with other 3 people them, she take her grace bone them, and she tell people the other grace, the what name, won't cry them, so she already dead when them reach. She lie a blood clot. She tell them she already dead, and then she tell them say the bone fruit destroy, so them have to make another one. But the thing is though, the bone fruit make out of the bone of a golden jackal, which is like the sacred animal to the god who ruled the underworld place, and them never seen none in 100 years. So them said Jesus Christ is a wild goose chase. We can find the animal, but we have to look. So them set out on 3-day hunt for look. Oh, and I forgot to mention, when them pray with them hands up, because them praying to the lady up there. So, but Sabine, the walking, and the queen praying like 2 times with her hand down. They just say, who the frick she pray to? God, we honor the God down there, so, but we don't pray to him, because that's like crossing some bones. And she's like, oh, she hear him say something about, oh, give him back, and she's like, oh, I'm going, brother, what is going on? See, that get interesting now, don't? If not, I'm sorry, I don't I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, so that one come back later. So after this now, Elise back in the cave, hang on for dear life after her mother left her. She ready to give up because her mother left her. She's like, oh, man, I'm not for live for. And she ready for Lego because her hand them give way. And then somebody reached down and is like, take my hand. And she look up and it's Bastian. Yeah, she look up and it's Bastian. And he's like, why you want to help me? And then he's like, just take my hand. And then she take it. And then like they're there staring into each other's eyes lovingly and them having a moment, and Jules like, it's me you like, remember? And then she never said that though, but you know, that's what she meant. And then he pull away, and then she's like, oh, he only pulled me up because if I died, he would die. He doesn't like me. Why do I even like him? Forget that. Blah blah blah. I'm so sad. My mommy left me. Oh Jesus, my life. I'm so mean. Right, and then go back into the cave again, and then lock up the place. And then something happen, and Bastian tell Elise about him father and why I'm doing this, and then she telling something else, and then get close, and then Michael and Jules leave the cave, and then them doing the dance again because them actually start falling in love now. And then them say, okay, we're going to figure out a way to break the soul bond without killing either of us, and then we can go on our way, but we'll still be in love with each other, but we won't be together because something and something another. And then skip few pages, and then she used the knife that she had, and no, they don't tie up again. She run away. She take back the grace bones from Jules, because Jules had it this whole time. Then she get back her powers, and then she leave the cave, right? And then by this time now, it's time for the ferriers or the bone criers to ferry the dead across the place. Oh, I'm terrible. I forgot to tell you that after all of this, they're losing hope, and then Michael tell her that the bone flute was not actually destroyed, and she's like, but I saw her do it, and it turns out like Jules only broke like another bone, because this is where people were getting buried and stuff in the old days, and she never really looked close. She just saw a bone and saw a bone break, and she thought that, oh, she broke the bone flute, and she believed her when she said she broke the bone flute. So then that's what she stole. She stole the bone flute, and she stole her grace bones, and then she left. And then she's like running, sprinting to go to the magical bridge because she know that they don't have a flute. And then it switch over to Sabine, and then Sabine is telling us how they never find a golden jackal. but then just use a regular bone of a regular animal and carve the flute and put all the magical carvings on the side and hope say it work. It never work. So by the time Elise reached there, so them a fight the them because without the flute, the gates to the up there and the down there never open, but the souls came because they attracted to the song, right? So them a fight them off and the ghost them a try kill them and the ghost them a try run to the town for try suck out people them soul and them a try fight them and throw them in a hole so them can't go nowhere. And then she's like, oh my god, I need to help them. And she's like, oh, I have the flute. And she plays the song and them attracted to her. And Fia mother vexed now because she thinks she lied about the bone flute being destroyed. So she thought that the queen thought that Elias lied about the flute so that she could get all the glory by calling the souls. You can't tell she just really ate her daughter. She find every reason to get upset, right? So all the souls go into Elias now, and then Bastian and Jules and Michael come, and by this time them in love like for real now. And then them a fight off the souls them, but like because Bastian, Jules and Michael don't have the grace bone, they can't see the souls because the souls are this color that you can only see if you have like bird sight or something, because you know how birds and animals see more colors than they don't have it, so they just feel when the soul them beat them up because them can actually hit them. So Jules and Elise and Bastian are there fighting together like the power couple, and Elise is there fighting and she's telling Bastian where to kick, and Jules upset and she's like, oh my god, what's going on? I don't believe you. You guys are just here to kill men and make my life miserable. There are no souls. And then Elise is like, what do you think is beating you up? And he's like, I don't care. Blah 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 blah. And I don't remember what happened after this. But somehow Elise is like the bridge never come up because she played the something too late. So Elise is playing the music and then she's running because all the souls are attracted to her. So she's trying to get the souls away from going to the town and away from the other farriers. So she's running and Bastian is running with her. And then them hiding from the souls. And then Jules thief the grace bones. So now Elise can't see the soul them. So now she don't know what she have fight. And Jules just pissing me off right this moment. And she run off and say, oh, either you break the soul bond between you and... No, I'm going to keep the bones until we figure out how to break the soul bond. And then she run away. She and Michael run away. And then Elise get knocked out by this soul. And by this... Something happened when Elise... Yes, it is why I need to read the book. Something happened where Elise gave the flute to Sabine. And then Sabine gave the flute to the queen. And then Bastian took Elise, because she knocked out now, into one of his old hideouts that was before he met Jules and Michael, and so that's where they wouldn't know where to find them, right? And then them stand there for a time hoping that Elise will get stronger with the moonlight without her grace bones, and then them fall in love there. It's all happy, but it's not happy because it's not happy, you know. And then this girl Elise was like being a dum-dum, and she went outside. And the soul found her, and he's like, oh my god, it's you, you're the one who called us. And then all of them start finding her, and they're like beating her up. And then Bastian come and see her getting beat up, and him thief a horse, and then them like running. And then Elise is just enjoying the horse ride, like she forgets everything else about her life. She just like enjoy the moment. And then them end up back in the cave. And then because the souls aren't going to come into the cave because other people are already dead down there, right? And then something happened where then figure out say that in the cave that was where the first bridge was, so them can call the souls there. So she's like, okay, let me just she get the flute back from Sabine. And I don't know how. I don't remember how. She get the flute back, and then they're planning to call the souls, but they need like the moonlight, so them use the gunpowder again. And no, hold on, it's not, that never happened yet. Then we jump to oh my god, we jump to Sabine's point of view, and then we find out that Bastian was not her soulmate, and we'll also find out that Sabine is Elise's half sister. So the girl the reason the queen was praying to the king, to the god of the underworld, was because she was in love with this other guy before she met her soulmate. So they were having their whole love affair, and then she meets her soulmate, she got pregnant, she killed him. Then as soon as Ellie's born, she left her with somebody, and then she go back have her time with the guy she actually love, and she get pregnant again with Sabine, right? And then because of this, the gods got upset and kill off the boyfriend or her true love or whatever. And then all this, so we find out that all this time she's been like kicking off extra good souls who are supposed to go up there, so down there, so as a sacrifice to get back Sabine's father. And that's why she never really cared if she leave Elias in the cave, because she said, okay, Sabine can be the heir. And then she did this whole ritual where she cut off, she get Sabine, Elias hair from her hairbrush, and then she did this whole sacrifice. She was like, oh, I'm coming to you in place of Elias, take my sister Sabine as the heir to the Lorises. And then Sabine is like, nigga, I don't want this. And then yes, we find out that Bastian is not her real soulmate. Her real soulmate is the prince of the place them living in. And he was coming down to the bridge the night the music played. But then by the time he reached down there, he saw Elise walking away with Bastian, and he thought that she was running off with her friends or something, like frolicking through the woods or something. And then Sabine is like, no, she got kidnapped. And he's like, oh, kidnapped? We have to save my love. And then she's like, alright. Because she never understands that there's something that strong. All him I hear the song, they look at one time and know him in love with her. And then him call him soldier them. You know that now that I think about it, it really not making any sense to me. Him call him soldiers to come help him and Sabine get back Elias, because Elias is in the cave again and Sabine still thinks that she kidnapped her or something. And then she's like, no brother, you can't take the soldier them with you, because in her head, she just said that to him, but in her head, she's like, because Elias got to kill him. So I can't have the soldier them and watch the girl kill the crown prince, because his father soon dead. So he's the heir. He's the heir to the throne. And all kind of convoluted bag of something going on. And then she's like, okay. And he's like, but you and I, we can't fight off all these captures by ourselves and save my love. And Sabine is like, listen, them can't come. And then he's like, listen, they're going to come. And then she's like, you know what, fine. This is what's going to happen. We are going to go like a day ahead of them, and then they're going to come. And then she's like in her head, hopefully him will dead by that time, right? And then so them go, and then they go under the ground, and by this time, like, Elias summoned the gates, and she fight off the soul, but she can't see them because Jules still have the friggin' grace bone them. So now I get upset all over again. And then something happen, and Jules end up in the friggin' oh, when when they were up, like after Jules see the grace bones again, Bastian, when she was spending time in the little church or wherever it was them saying his secret hideout, he was there looking for Jules and Michael. And all this time Jules and Michael were hiding in the same cave. But when Bastian went down to look for them, they hid in another cave until he left. And then they went back in there. So now when Ellie's in there fighting the spirit and can't see, fighting the soul them and can't see, Jules come out, and then Jules give her back the grace bone because Bastian shot after her and her feelings them hurt. And then and then she put on the grace bone, and now she get back all her extra strength and she can see the ghost them, and she a fight with skill now. She a and using her stick and rock and fling them through the gates, and then her mother come down. And her mother said, oh, you're alive. And then Sabine come down, and Sabine is like, oh my God, you knew she was alive. You lied about this too. And then the prince come down, and then the prince is like, oh my love. And then she's like, who the frig is this? And then all kind of something going on. And then Sabine tell Elias that she's her sister. And then Elias vexed and said, how come my mother want me kill how come my mother I get upset when me say I don't want to have a pitney, but she did have a whole next boyfriend after she have me, and I feel so disrespected. And now she said she understand why her mother did like Sabine more than she, because she come from the man which she actually love. And then and then them start grow weak, and then them blow up the ceiling, cause them find out so the cave that they're in, the part that they're under, was actually like artificially covered. So them send Michael up there with more gunpowder and then blow up the ceiling. That's how Sabine get done, cause they blow up the ceiling and the prince and Sabine jump down or something. And then the king of the underworld, he's like, alright, to the queen, it's like, alright, you want your boyfriend back? I'm gonna take your daughter. And you see, because you already like Sabine more, I'm gonna take Elise. And then she's like, oh no, please, no. Elisa gets sucked in to the cave, and she's like hearing all this. She's getting hypnotized, and then Bastian call her, and then this ghost girl who was supposed, I don't even know what one right now. This ghost girl who is going up into the good gates, grab her by her hand and say, listen, somebody out there to say you're not supposed to go in there. And then she come back to see what's happening. And then she fight the last souls into the gate. And then the mother is like, she have the knife to Bastian's throat. And then Elise is like, where you are, the brother? After you already pissed me off earlier, oh you did this. And then she's like, come on, you have to complete the ritual to be like a real farrier. And then Sabine is like, no, don't kill him. He is not her soulmate. And then Bastian is like, and then Elise is like, and then Elise is like, so if he's not my soulmate, then who? And then she points to the boy, and then she's like, after where him come from? And then the mother is like, okay, since he's not her soulmate, he's not no use to me. And then she stab him, and then Elise like, ball, and she's like, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna fight your face. And then she and her mother start fight, and then her mother feels so because she have her 5 grace bone, and Elise only have her 3, so she gonna beat her, but Elise vex bad. So nothing more going on. She not register no pain. She not register command sense. She just beat up her mother. She's like blah. And then them stop fight. And then Bastian never dead. And then the prince thief Elise and carry her to the castle. And then the Jews and Michael take Bastian to go to somebody, like the girlfriend, you remember Katie or Peach, I call her Peach house. You remember Peach, the boy with Michael, the girl with Michael D like, who work in the perfume shop or something. And then them fix up Bastian there, so, and then we jump to Elias in the castle, and she vexed because she want to leave because she actually in love with Bastian now. And because Bastian is not her soulmate, she don't have to kill him. So she had tried to figure out a way for them with him. But the prince caused all kind of problem because he might keep her in there and he have all the guards. And then Sabine break in and tried to oh no. Sabine tried to like injure the prince while they were under the cave so that Elias could have killed him and become a farrier, and then him tell the guards to lock her up. And then Sabine was in jail now, in the palace. And then Sabine broke out of jail and disappeared. And then the prince is like to Elias, since you gave Bastian a chance and fall in love with him, why don't you stay in the palace and give me a chance? And then I'm like, what? Sir, oh, what kind of maths is that? What? No, so yes, because him kidnap her, she fall in love, you can kidnap her, she fall. Yeah, no, shut up. And then she's like, fine. I'm like, fine? What? And then I find out that she just staying there so she can kill him. It's like, oh, she have sense. And then Sabine, what? I don't even know what going. So then we jump to Bastian point of view and him in a somebody else. Because remember, he didn't get stabbed. And he's recovering. And then Jules still love him up, but him don't love her Jules no more. So she in her feelings, but she forgive him because them best friend or whatever. And then somebody knock on the door, and them use the secret knock, so them think it's Michael, but it's not Michael, it's somebody in a cloak, and them thinks that somebody come kill them. And then she tap on her hood, and it's Sabine. And then it's Sabine telling them that they have to rescue Elias. And then the book end. So now I have to wait for the second book to come out, and that's it. All relevant links are in the description below, like the affiliate link to this book and ways you can help, and my, all the stuff that's going on in the world right now, all over the place, and my other social medias regarding liking, commenting, and subscribing. Do what you want. Bye. No, brother. The more we talk about it, the more it will make no sense.